And we want to welcome you to a special Wednesday edition of the Hawg Talk podcast, presented to you by the law offices of Robertson, Beasley, Shipley, and Robinson. And they have offices in Ozark, Springdale, and in Fort Smith. And we had this scheduled for last week, had some technical difficulties, some logistics. But this week, we have super YouTube star, Bama fan, Jermaine Funnyman Johnson joining the show. This has been a long awaited. I've been trying to get you since 16. So we have some personal ties between our Clemson and Alabama connection. So thank you so much for joining us.
Nah, man, it's going to be fun. Let's get into it. I can't wait.
So I guess just begin how you got started in the videos and for those who don't know what your video is about, kind of explain what got started and what you got rolling.
For the most part, it started off as a Bama thing. I've been a Bama fan all my life, comedian for 17 years now. So I kind of put the comedy and the Bama together, but it somehow grew, to the SEC, to the Big Ten and all of college football. And we put up a lot of content weekly that, of course, it gives a Bama perspective, but I just watch a lot of college football, man. So I'll talk about all different teams and people, for some reason they want to hear my point of view on their team. So it's just been fun, man. We keep it friendly. It is a little petty at times, but it's all clean content, man. No cursing, no politics, no nothing like that. So it's just been fun.
Well, it's a real fan experience. Like I love the interaction that you have, like say with the Georgia, the Auburn. It's not just an Alabama Auburn hate. Like when Clemson was having theirs, every week you're like, hey, they're looking good, they're sneaking up. But I would have loved to have seen one of your reaction videos during the kick six. I just that how everything went with that game, and just I was thinking about that when I seen your videos. I was like, I just wonder what he was thinking during that game, if he was sitting on that couch through the whole game when he called that timeout and then the kick.
Yeah, man, that 2013 Iron Bowl, what would I have done after that? I have no idea, but I've had to do videos after we lost the Natty to Georgia, after we got stumped by Clemson, a last-second loss to Clemson one year. So I'm pretty sure I would have came with something. And that's the thing, like I don't just get on other teams and then go stick my head in the dirt when we lose. I'll eat my crow and give props to the other teams when it's necessary.
Well, but when you have 16 national championships, I think you can kind of sit on that crown and and do that. Yeah. But
18, so who's counting? Whatever.
Yeah. So what, your thoughts, we were going to have you on last, week previewing the Arkansas game, but now looking back, that third quarter, I mean, Alabama, jumps out to the 28-0 lead. Bryce Young, I haven't heard anything about his status on he went out, but you got to give it to Milroe for coming in. And I mean, basically pretty much that's what I explained to people. When you have a team like Bama, you can throw in your backup and still, I mean, when you go from Tua to Hurts to, the line of, now you're with Young. Now Milroe's looking, I mean, and you're pretty much running his own read, begging you to stop him, and you can't. But just take us through that third quarter when, you're watching the game. All right, I'm making my content video. We're moving on to next week. And here they start creeping. And so take us through that third quarter. What was going through your mind?
it was the most surreal feeling, and I know for Arkansas fans, it was an emotional roller coaster. But for us, it was like we've seen it before. We've seen everything go wrong. There was the 2014 and 15 Mississippi Ole Miss games where we were like the quarterback was scrambling, he throw it up, guy just catches it, runs in, and that's usually how our losses go. It's just like this weird freak accident. So I was mentally preparing myself, like, hey, well, if we're taking the L today to Arkansas, what am I gonna say? And everything just kind of settled down for the guys. The weird stuff stopped happening, and then they got back to playing dominant football. But that third quarter, man, that was a ride. I wonder what it felt like for you guys, because I know y'all were up here and then you had to come back down. So
we have a tendency of the Charlie Brown effect. You keep on going and trying to kick that football, thinking it's going to go through the uprights, and it just keeps on getting pulled up.
Right.
But, it's just, but looking at what Sam Pittman has done at Arkansas and going from not even being on the radar to now they're even getting that recognition. And I know that fans were, left disappointed because you went on a 23-0 run and then how things ended.
Mm-hmm.
But just your perspective as Arkansas as a program, I'm sure you respect Sam Pittman just like everybody else does. What does it say to you in the short amount of time in their turnaround? And when did it really start catching your eye that, Arkansas is coming back?
I would say besides those maybe 4 years for y'all, like between 2016 to 2020, y'all were pretty formidable. I mean, yeah, we hadn't lost to y'all in a while, but Arkansas is not a team that you're not going to show up for. Like, they can beat you. They've historically, ever since they came into the conference in '92, they've been a headache. I know they've had some upsets in there. They had that great run with McFadden and Felix. So they're just not a team that Bama fans are like, we're just gonna show up and that's it. No, trust me, the fan base was very, very nervous going up into this. I read all the tweets and all these different things. So they were very nervous, and deservedly so, because our guys had not played their best game yet. But Sam Pittman was a guy that we wanted. Nick Saban was recruiting him to come there. We knew, as fans in the know and on the message boards, we knew about him. So what he's doing, and he's a likable guy. So it's not surprising that he's, getting Arkansas there. Like you said, when y'all are the big dog in the state, I think only you guys and LSU have that, where they're like the school in the state. So, it's not hard to get the best recruits out of that state, and, from Mississippi and Tennessee next door. So no, I'm not surprised at all, man. So.
And looking forward, y'all have Texas A&M coming on. I know y'all are really looking forward to that revenge game. And, and then, Arkansas, in their troubles in the secondary and the passing game and third and long, going up against a guy who's going to throw it 40 or 50 times. It seems like they have all the missing pieces, but just like last year, just didn't have, he had Burks and that was pretty much it. Now we're having the same kind of questions, but on the defensive side too. But, just your perspective as a whole, Arkansas moving forward. I mean, it's not really panic mode yet, but it could turn that way. But after Mississippi State, we see what's going on at Auburn. We see what's going on at LSU. The schedule kind of favors them to still have, a 9-win season. And that's what I predicted to begin with, is a 9-3, 9-4 year.
Right. It's crazy to think, man, that y'all on a 2-game losing streak right now, because I still feel like Arkansas is maybe a top 3 team in the SEC West behind Bama and Ole Miss. But then what Mississippi State did last week to Texas A&M, you're like, what the heck is going on? And Auburn, again, another sneaky team, no matter what the record says, and LSU, you got to throw the records out and just know that they got some great athletes. They might not put it all together right now, but they'll eventually do it. And I think the same with Arkansas. I think Arkansas will get back to just being that smash mouth team. Y'all's secondary is very physical. That's what I was worried about. I know they'll get up and they'll stop the run, But I was really, really worried about would our guys, our wide receivers, be able to, get some separation. And lo and behold, they did. But that was one thing I liked about Arkansas. Their corners are really, really physical. Maybe they got gassed, maybe 2 or 3 quarters in. But man, when they went on that run, it looked like they had put it together. So I think y'all will be fine. I would say 8-9 wins for sure.
And we do have a familiar face from your side on Drew Sanders, just what, even Saban before the season was saying he would have probably started for us. And I mean, he just played the part. And I really commend Saban for saying it, because most guys wouldn't even acknowledge a transfer. So my question is, being, from a program that's been at the top for so long, and you've been looking down on the other competition, to see what have you seen with this NIL, with this transfer portal that's really given teams like Arkansas a bigger chance, more of a shot to really play with teams like Alabama, Georgia, and Auburn?
Well, the biggest thing I've seen is boosters getting more involved, which is not always a great thing. You can, with these collectives, it can be, who's going to the highest bidder. And when you think about it, man, Arkansas, as soon as you step on the campus or in the state, it's the Walton family. It's a big Walmart logo hanging up in the stadium. So, that's money that we don't have here in Alabama. We got boosters, but we ain't got the Walton family. Auburn has got the CEO, Tim Cook of Apple. So I think the selling point for Alabama and Nick Saban is we can get you to the next level. And will people start to chip away at that with the NIL and saying, hey, we can get you a little money right now. Saban is talking about getting you some money later on, but we can get you some money right now. And we've lost some recruits. We were going after young Manning pretty hard. He ended up at Texas, and they got money all over that state. So it's just it feels like that the boosters and the money folks are now, I wouldn't even say misusing. It's not even illegal, but they're putting their money in these collectives, and they're just they know money, but they don't know athletes, and they don't know parents always. And I just think not Birmingham, but I think Auburn. I was thinking about the Birmingham Bowl. I think Auburn probably has the worst collection of boosters in the history of boosters. Like, they're running everybody away. It's a very unstable situation. But with Arkansas, I mean, y'all got Jerry Jones still behind you. So I think y'all will be fine. Y'all will be in the mix. And, they may never get to Nick Saban level, but I think y'all will always be in the conversation, and, 9-10 win team every year for the foreseeable future.
Yeah. And then if you get past Walmart, then you got Tyson. And then if you get past them, you got JB Hunt. I mean, the money,
JB Hunt, see?
Then you get Brother Bill involved. If he really wants a player, you can get him to get some play.
You see what I mean? And
we going to stick that thumb out. He gonna get a player,
and I'm just being real. We just don't have that. I don't. Last I checked, I think we got 2 Fortune 500 companies in the state of Alabama total. Some are doing good, but it's got to be something else for us. And I think, when you think about that video where Saban got into trouble talking about Dion and Jimbo, he was talking to the money folks. Like, hey, they buying over here, so y'all need to step it up. But that's what we have to do. It probably wasn't supposed to see.
Well, they're so used to winning that they don't understand the new wave of football and like. In Saban. But I guess my biggest question is just like moving forward with Saban. I mean, in your honest opinion, how many more years do you think he has? I mean,
dude,
is it a mystery, or do you think that because I said, and I might have misspoke, I just seemed that like this year he just looks tired. And I think, and when I mean tired, it's because of the NIL, because of the transfer portals. You're trying to keep up with your own program, keep them going, get new guys in, keep them from going to other programs and then get new guys in. It just looks like that's not his way to do things. He'll do it if he has to, because he's Nick Saban. He's adjusted many times.
Yeah.
But how many more years do you think he's truly got at Alabama?
Every time I think I got him figured out, I end up wrong. He could probably go. He's in year 16. He could probably get up to 25 years at Bama. That's just being real. See, what people have to understand, Nick Saban's gift is he's a recruiter of talent, and he recruits talent to fill holes in what he wants to get done. So that's all he does. He's like, all right, I need somebody for this. I need somebody for that. So he's recruiting coaches. He's recruiting players, but it's easier to recruit the players for him than it is a coach, because he just pop up with those rings on. Hey, I know what you want to do, so I can get you there. But recruiting the coaches, I think, has been the harder part for him. But he's a master of it. And with him delegating as good as he does, I don't think he's that stressed. I just think he likes football. This man, I live in the same area code as him, and I've lived in the same zip code as him. This man has no life. He's not out. He's not partying. He's avoided scandal for all of these years. He just loves the business of football and running that program, and thinking that somebody like Saban is going to just go home and get old. I don't see it happening.
No, I don't either. I was just thinking with the way things are changing, how many more years he's got. And then, how many assistant coach. I mean, I think you've went through more assistant coaches at Alabama as other head coaching jobs have went through the SEC. And it's just crazy. If you look at the number of head coaches who've come, underneath that Saban tree.
Yeah.
I mean, I would like to get your perspective on what people don't realize about being Alabama is, you're talking about now we're having these people who opt out of bowl games. How frustrating was it to you? Like, you make it to the college football playoff and you get Sark leaving. You make college football playoff, then you got Kiffin leaving. What was that saying to fans when not only were you losing players, you were losing your coordinators during bowl season and trying to win a national championship?
Yeah. Well, he's embedded such a next man up mentality in us that we were like, all right, well, next guy, you got to come on with it. Like Sark, we literally had Sark's resume. Like, all right, Sark, he's been an offensive coordinator. He's been a head coach. He could do this. He's been around the team. He's been up there, and we just had full confidence in him, and he almost pulled it off. His first time out, we came up a little bit short, but that's it. We just have a next man up mentality. We feel like we got enough analysts who are former coaches on the staff. We feel like we got enough.
How many analysts do y'all have at Alabama? I think y'all got 85-man roster there, right? Y'all got a travel squad.
I think this is the correct number. I think it's 17 analysts now. I think that's the correct number. But
goodness gracious.
I said, Nick Saban, Nick Saban pretty much created that analyst position because, again, he recruited. He knows what he needs, and then he recruits and finds a way to get it.
So, we'll go back to the game, and there was a very controversial time during the game and then after the game, and I was going to kind of get your thoughts on it. And then it was actually your tweet that even led me to what they had said. But, of course, the day after, Arkansas fans caught wind of the official Alabama Twitter account putting out that picture where it looked like the offensive lineman was standing over a hurt KJ Jefferson. Well, and I'm not condoning either side. Mm-hmm. I was pointing out to the ones that didn't know it that, our side had actually clapped first with that. And I know they're not affiliated with Arkansas, but it was the Barstool Arkansas account that had said, we take great pride in being the team that injured, Bryce, when in actuality, he did it to himself by doing, and I said this on our last podcast, he was trying to do too much and could have totally been avoided. But your take on, of course, well, you've seen your take on the Arkansas side, because of course that's what pointed me to it. But what was your take on being the official account and kind of what they did, and it's still up in a way?
Right. I think that the Barstool Arkansas tweet, I think that came down to one person. I'm not going to put that on the university. I'm not going to put that on the fan base. I think there was one idiot behind the keyboard that slipped under the cracks and got that off. So with that being said, it almost looks worse on the Bama side now because I know Bama. Like they pulled me to the side about some things. So there's not one person making the decision on what's going to go out. There's multiple people. And to be honest, I don't think they did it intently to poke fun at KJ Jefferson. What I think it is, we've had posters in the past where they're kind of like over a body thing, but it's the O-line, our O-line over their quarterback. So that doesn't even make sense, aesthetically. But we've had posters like that where there was like a Tennessee guy on the ground and or an Ole Miss guy on the ground. It just, just kind of a thing that they do. But I think it was an oversight that they didn't notice that was a hurt, injured quarterback. And so I would say oversight, but a big slip up on Bama's part and one jerk from the Barstool's side.
And that was the thing. Like I was taking it like, okay, they seen what we did, so of course they're gonna, and I thought that they would, they'd get the uproar. You know how things are these days. Everybody uproars, then we'll delete it. But the fact that they've kept it up. I don't even know if they deleted it yet, but I think that's what resonated with me was when I wasn't defending Alabama side or Arkansas side. I was just giving context to the situation of, hey, Arkansas kind of did it first, and then that happened. But it was just a point that I know how vocal you are about things, and you're real about it. I just wanted to get your take from the other side of what you thought it was. But I guess moving forward, again, you've seen Mississippi State, you've seen Arkansas, of course, the alarming secondary and them throwing the ball 40 times. I mean, what would you say would be the biggest key for Arkansas to win on Saturday?
And y'all got Mississippi State, right?
Yes, sir.
It's going to be tough to answer. I haven't had a chance to sit down and watch Mississippi State in totality this year, but I'll lean on the fact that I know Mike Leach and that air raid offense. That's just what he does. Like they're going to spread it out. Mississippi State is going to always have some big guys to contend with. So they're a physical team, man. So I would say if y'all can establish the run game, I wouldn't run KJ too much because those big boys from Mississippi.
Well, and just reports coming out. I don't think he's going to play. I don't know. I don't know. Can't say, but all fingers are pointing towards he's not going to play. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, like I said, that's going to be game time decision on that.
Yeah. So I would definitely with a second string quarterback, I would definitely lean as heavily on the running game, try to establish that early, shorten up the game. Don't let Mississippi State, run it around and try to run it up. Play some good defense on them. That's all, man. Especially with KJ not being in there, that's a bummer. But I don't have a good scouting report on Mississippi State right now. I just haven't seen them on TV in totality yet.
And just seeing, Arkansas going through that 2-game losing streak, they got a head coach, you got your coordinators. I mean, what's the biggest key? Like, bouncing back. Like you've been through some losses, but y'all have always bounced back and you're always in that conversation. So like if you could give that advice to, fans' perspective, but yet through a team, what would you think be the biggest key of, okay, we just need to, it's the SEC, let's wipe it off and let's move on to the next week?
Play by play. I think, and these are young kids, mostly teenagers that we're talking about every week. But you got to give it play by play. Like they may come in with a little hangover from Bama, but what I noticed, over the years, especially like when you get to the second quarter, late second quarter, these guys are competing like they normally do. They just don't want to lose. Nobody's going to be from Arkansas is going to be thinking about Alabama, with 3 minutes left in the second quarter. Now it's these guys in front of me who I'm mad at, and they're trying to come at me and I'm coming at them. So just play by play, just keep chunking at the bit. And I think they'll be okay.
All right. We're going to end it on this biggest question. How does Arkansas rise above bacon bits? What's lower than bacon bits? And what do we got to get back to that honey ham? Because I seen the illustration. I seen what we had to get last year. We're not going to let you go and slide on that.
Right.
I told you I had a curveball for you. What we got to do to get above bacon bits? I was disappointed when you gave us bacon bits again.
Yeah, it should be no secret, man. I kind of like the Arkansas fans. They've been good to me. They actually let me on the field last time I was in Fayetteville, and I got some friends that were coaching up there. So number one, I got to redo the chart, for 2022. So we got to redo it and then see, where they can go from there. But the bacon bits moniker, man, it's sticking for some reason, and Aaron just likes it. So man, we'll keep it at bacon bits right now. But if y'all start, can reel off about 5 or 6 wins in a row, which is very doable. We got to look at honey baked ham, man. Maybe ham sandwich or something.
There you go. We enjoyed the honey ham. I mean, we got that 9 wins and we got to that bowl game. We're like, okay, Outback Bowl honey ham. So
yeah. They were all in my comments like, hey man, we did it. I was like, guys, this should not be y'all goal.
Yeah. Bless their heart. People in the deep side don't know the bless your heart thing.
Yeah, but how cool is that, man, for old Bama fan to come up with something that Arkansas fans kind of embrace, and they take that bacon bits thing serious, man.
Well, and that's what I wanted to ask you. Being a content creator, you're in the comedy game, but I mean, what does that mean to you? Like me reaching out, people reaching out, watching your videos, your 74,000 followers on Twitter, I don't know what your following is on YouTube, but what does that mean to you? Like you've got to that point to where you're like, man, people really pay attention. Now you've got SEC shorts. There's another guy, an SEC guy. Yep. He's really good too. When his, so you kind of started a trend. So, what can you say? I mean, I know you try to be humble, but yet it's almost like you got to be proud of yourself at the same time.
It's a blessing, man. God is good, and as you could tell, it's not something that I take for granted. I don't walk around like I'm a celebrity. People see me out at Walmart and Waffle House all the time. I always take pictures and everything because I remember a time when it wasn't like that. But I just always have a lot of fun with people and the fan bases and all the guys that you name, man. SEC shorts and Matt doing his thing, and even on the ESPN side with Cole Kubelik and Greg McElroy, everybody lives here in Birmingham. That's awesome. Everybody's right here in Birmingham. So for us to be on paper the headquarters of SEC and also the unofficial headquarters of SEC content, man, that's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, and I know I keep on saying last question, but when we talk, I keep on thinking of other things I've been wanting to ask you, and poor Gary Danielson. What is he going to do next year when he, poor guy? Are you going to send him a care package when he has to stop calling SEC games? Because I'm telling you, that guy you talking about, just he is the football Dick Vitale when it comes to Duke basketball. You've got Gary Danielson for Bama football, and he's going to be miserable next year.
I ran into Gary Danielson at SEC Media Days maybe 4 years ago. And I said, Gary Danielson. And he looked back, he saw my Bama shirt. He's like, oh man. I said, Gary. And I was real cool and calm about it. I said, Gary, here's the issue with Bama fans. He said, lay it on me, man. What's going on? I said, your voice is attached to all of our biggest losses. We're a very superstitious fan base. So, when you're just doing an analysis to the crazies, it sounds like you're rooting against us. Some of us know that's not the case, but your voice is on the kick six. Your voice is on those bad Ole Miss games. Your voice is on the Johnny Manziel game. It's your voice, dude. So that's the beef that everybody has. And then I said it wouldn't hurt if you get in there and stop talking about how the other team could beat us, because you don't do that to the other team. You like, there's no keys to what Alabama's got to do to beat Vanderbilt. It's always what the other team got to do to beat.
So now we know who to blame. We blame you for now how it's the other way around, because now he's the exact opposite, because we're watching the game like the players could see this, and he kept on saying, well, that ball kind of did bounce, and was that his shadow, or did he get the onside kick? And I'm looking at him like, hey man, chill, and
right.
Arkansas fans are just as rabid as any fan base, and
absolutely
it was like so yeah. Razorback fans, you heard it here first. You can thank him for how Gary Danielson is all for Bama and wants to be just like Dick Vitale. So
no, Bama Nation does not feel like that. They would not. When Vern left, they were cool. So when he leaves, or when we had to move over to what is it, Fox now?
He is one of them. Disney Plus, probably. You never know.
Yeah, right. We'll probably be on the Paramount app, but. Yeah, we'll adjust, man. But it was fun. He was like an unexpected villain for a lot of SEC fans.
Well, and the music's not going to be the same. You can put the Big Ten on there sometime, but the music is not going to be the same. But hey, we'll get you out there on this. Tell our fans where they could find you. Your videos. You got your upcoming. You're still doing your comedy tour. So tell us all about where we can find you.
All y'all got to do is go to my website, funnymain.com. Everything is on there. There's links to all my social media. And yeah, man, any shows coming up, we always post them on there on time. If y'all want to get in touch with me, there's a contact page. I ain't hard to find is what I'm saying. I got the same name on all social media at Funny Main. Holler at me, follow me, talk trash. We do it all.
There we go.
Love it.
Well, for me personally, I'm going to be selfish for a minute. This has been a long time coming, wanting to get the stuff. And so I really appreciate your time, Razorback Nation, and we will strive to do our best to rise above bacon bits.
Good luck with that.
All right. Well, hey, that will do it for a special Wednesday episode of the Hawg Talk podcast. Yeah. We will come to you live again on Sunday night at 8:30, hopefully talking about a bounce back win over Mississippi State. We will catch y'all Sunday.
God bless y'all. Roll Tide.